Well, Mark, there'll be mixed emotions after that, without a doubt. But when you, as you say, control the controllables, and you did exactly that.
Yeah, certainly that. I think when we'd heard that they were 2-0 up, we were just then concentrating and making sure we win the game 2-0. Look, as a coaching staff, we had to just focus on us, and we've done that yet again. And I think that was our toughest game since I've been in charge. They really had a go at us, didn't they, in the first half. They didn't let us play out, but then on the flip side, this is why goalie was so important to us, because he was relieving the pressure and we were getting in on goal. We scored a great first goal, coming in at half-time 1-0, because they had a really good spell of 10-15 minutes, and we were really happy with that. But I thought second half we did turn it up the gears a little bit. I thought our wide players come into the game, especially Dents when he came on, and Oxlade Chamberlain over the far side, and then a terrific second goal from Josh Barrett. So yeah, we've done our bit, but it's another week to look forward to.
We didn't wonder how this game would start, given what was riding on it, but it was cutthroat right from the first whistle.
It was. You could see they were desperate for the win with their setup. It didn't surprise us, but probably we thought we would have more time on the ball, but we didn't. So, as I said, goalie was really important to us in those early stages of the game. And after 50-60 minutes, we scored the second, and it probably could have been a bit more, but we'll take it.
And the big man Josh Curzon, he nearly got the first, didn't he? But that was cleared off the line.
He did. I've focused a lot on, since I've come in, on the restarts and the set pieces, long throw, which we have, and we know how dangerous we can be, because with all our good play, scoring goals is what matters, and we nearly got that perfect early start, which we talked about, but wasn't to be. He was fantastic today. Him, Macca and Crowther headed everything. And the only problem was that second phase ball where they flooded us in midfield. So we changed it slightly at half time, dropped Josh back a bit to get on the ball, and Ben went up top. And we got that second goal. And as I said, 50 to 60 minutes, I thought we were fairly comfortable.
Yeah, that defensive line had to stand firm, didn't they? And they had to deal with a lot of aerial bombardment.
They did. And Tommy, the goalkeeper, made a great save, let's not forget, in the first 2 minutes, which was crucial. But look, the atmosphere was great. When we got that second goal, I was egging us on, but I did hear from the crowd that they were 2-0 up, and my brother was sitting in the stand, but he was a reliable source. But look, I said to them at the end, it's all about momentum going into playoffs, and there's no one with any more momentum than us.
Momentum is great, but is there will be a tinge of disappointment in not sealing the title today? Is that a concern going into the next batch of games? I say games, hopefully games.
From maybe a supporter's point of view, you might think we've missed out, but not from this group. I mean, Skip led the circle after and go, let's go, we've got 2 more out the walk, so we don't get beat here. The pleasing thing for me is the 2 boys that come back on the pitch. They were regular starters earlier. We're getting stronger as a squad, with Dents and Cameron Hargreaves. So that gives everybody a lift, because their enthusiasm, they want to go for another 2 weeks, they don't want to stop now. So yeah, I've got a headache for next week, but we'll enjoy it tonight, because we've got these supporters due, and then we'll go again on Tuesday.
And that must come into your mind, knowing that Fylde were winning, to be able to make changes with another game coming up.
Yep, it was actually forced changes, so I wasn't really thinking that way, although at half time we were unsure about AJ, because he wasn't feeling great. So Dents was ready to go, and he said he was blowing, so all the training you do, that match sharpness, because the right sider was a good player. It's minutes in his legs, and it's just great to see Cammy, because we've got nobody harder working in the group, and I'm sure he'll be a real leader now this coming week.
Yeah, his energy in the first half of the season was immense, wasn't it?
It was, and in these games there's less football played, because everyone's a little bit tenser, and you need people that want to get the ball back, and he's one of them. So is Skip, so is Theo, so is Hughesy, but Cameron's just got that edge, and yeah, I'm delighted to have him back.
And Josh Barrett with a goal, that will do him the world. We know what he can do, but the goal will give him the confidence going into the next batch.
Delighted with his finish, because he tried to chip the keeper a few times when he was one-on-one, and he just put his head down and kicked through it, and he's got the best technique at the club, probably between him and Houghton, probably in the league. So good to see him. He's been making the assists now, he's getting on the score line. So yeah, so important to us, because he can play in any role you give him, and you see his work rate. People obviously judge him on the ball, but I can see his work rate.
The pressure was on. You wouldn't have thought that the way that you guys went about the job.
Yeah, 10-15 minutes before half time, 1-0 up. I thought that was their best spell in the game. But I thought when our subs came on, we got stronger, and they changed their system, and we just kept getting out. Oxlade Chamberlain over the other side, and Ben Stevens was causing problems, and Josh Barrett obviously got his goal from running from late. But yeah, as I said, it's 3 points for me. Selfishly, I'm not going to look too far forward. We're just going to concentrate on this week.
Ben did have a lively game. Unfortunately, that was brought to a premature end. Did you see what the red was for?
No, as I said, I followed the ball because Josh was in with their last man and their defender. But from what I'm hearing, it was a late tackle or free kick, and there was a tangle of legs. So we'll have to look at it and hopefully appeal it. But I'm more gutted for him because he was scoring an assistant in the last 7 games and their 7 wins. So. But we've got people that's why we've got a squad. So Jordan come on and yeah, people will be chomping at the bit to take his place if he is suspended, but we'll have to wait and see on that one, Nick.
As you say, the momentum is there. That's 5 out of 5 now since you guys took over, and the response you got at the end must fill you with great pride.
It did. It was our toughest game, and yeah, it does fill me with pride. We said in the change room, we've got another week to do. Don't look past the semi-final, because I've done that before as a player, and we've fell short, and I've won finals as a player, and there's loads of people with experience in there, so we're going to have a good week. We've got that advantage of being full time and getting prepped, and we'll look. I'll certainly be at the game on Tuesday, Wednesday night, whatever it is. I don't know yet.
What about Theo? Because he looked like he went down when he settled the goal, didn't he? And then 4 minutes later, he's gone.
I think the first one was maybe tactical. He went down and we weren't sure, and then I just thought I was desperate to get Cammy on the pitch to give us that energy because they went 3 up top. And yeah, it was a forced change, but he's fine, thankfully.
He's all right,
yeah, he's good.
Did anybody in the dressing room, I mean, they woke up when Fold scored, obviously,
yeah.
But did everybody know?
Yeah, we did when obviously
so it didn't
the
need
fans,
to,
it didn't need to address it. Well, we did actually address it because we said we're only going to talk about it at half time and after, so we addressed it and we just said stay on the front foot, you're 1-0 up, get the second and the game will change, and I knew we would finish strong with what was standing beside me, so yeah, and it turned out that way.
I know when you start a season your ambition is to do as well as possible, but when you started this current season after relegation, did you think you would be in this head-to-head battle at the very end? And you probably hoped it. Did you think?
Yes.
Yeah.
We genuinely set out to win the league. We obviously knew when we went up there, the 3-3 draw, that we were the 2 best sides. And probably we edged it up at their place, and obviously them winning here. I think if we look back on it, we just had too many draws. We've lost less games than them. But it's just those draws and those small margins, really small margins. And I know teams before might come second and be disappointed, but I just won't let that happen.
Now you mentioned Nick Houghton there. I think most people who left here the night before came probably looked at that's the best player in the league. But you mentioned Josh Barrett in the same breath as well, and we've seen Peterborough Sports away, the great goal. But are they amongst? Would you put them both in your team of the season from the National League North?
Yes, they just see a different picture. Ben Stevens, are going to put him in that bracket as well. They see a different picture. They're comfortable in receiving it anywhere. And our saying was run with a madman, and Josh certainly helped us today. Got that great second goal.
I think he's had a longer run of starts under you than he did under Tommy. I can't remember him starting quite as many.
The biggest thing is I trust him for those 90 minutes because I know he's just one of those players that thrives on staying on because he knows he can get a chance in the 90th minute when people are switched off. So I didn't do it consciously, but the first 2 games he gave me something late on. I thought I need to keep him on here, and he certainly paid me with his goal today and all the assists that he has. So he's a top player, isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm glad we've got him under contract for next year.